got some breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders have given Geno Smith a 2-year extension. That is a $75 million deal. It is worth up to $85.5 million with $66.5 million guaranteed. I'm telling you this right now, that is an A-plus type of extension that the Raiders were able to get done for Geno Smith. And anytime breaking news happens, you better have those subscribe button clicked. You better have that notification bell turned on. Where my Noti gang at? Because I knew as soon as this breaking news happened, I could not wait to get live, and I could not wait to sit up here and talk about this big-time move around the silver and black. So the first person on this was Jordan Schultz, and he reported it was a 2-year, $85.5 million with $66.5 million in guarantees. And then Adam Schefter came in and said, well, wait a minute. Let's be clear here. It's a 2-year, $75 million deal. So when you think about the deal for Geno Smith, he already has that 1 year at $31 million. So it's 1 year at 31 plus 2 years at 75. So it can get up to 85.5. Overall, though, the number one thing that I'm looking at for the Geno Smith contract is not only the guaranteed money, which is the 17th most guaranteed money in the NFL from a quarterback standpoint, but I knew guarantees was one of the reasons why this contract was getting held up here a little bit. And when you look at the guaranteed dollars and it's the 17th most, you're getting a quarterback that is no doubt a top 15 QB that's got top 10 QB upside with Chip Kelly and with a good offensive line. And then you're getting him, though, at the 17th most quarterback dollars. This is also coming in before the Brock Purdy deal, which is going to really influence, I think, some other deals that you see end up getting done. The other really important thing about the Geno Smith extension is it's a 2-year extension with 1 year, 3 years. When Pete Carroll was hired, they give him a 3-year deal with a 4th-year option. When the Raiders have a window, you're looking at this window right now, and I don't know how the detail or how the contract's going to be broken down year after year after year, but I am really curious to see if the Raiders structure the Geno Smith extension very similar to the way that they did with Max Crosby, where they front-loaded Max's deal, and then in 2027, it's $0 million guaranteed, but they gave Max that a little bit of a deal. I would like to see how Geno's contract does end up getting broken down, but a 2-year extension at 75 worth up to $85 million, when Geno was looking for $45 to $40 million per year, this is an absolute slam dunk by Tom Delaney, Pete Carroll, John Spytek, Tom Brady. I don't care who is associated with this. This is a great freaking job. Throw Greg Olson's name in there. He's worked with Geno Smith. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. I want you to grade the extension of Geno Smith, A, B, C, D, or F. You're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is playing, be a Raider fan. Let me know down below your answer to this question. This is an A to me, and I say it's an A because when you look at the Sam Darnold deal, Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. When you look at the guaranteed money of a lot of these other quarterbacks, hell, like, let's even talk about, and I don't like to bring up his name, but you look at the Derek Carr contract and you compare it to what Geno Smith's getting, we all know Smith is a better quarterback than DC. Only people that don't see that got some beer goggles on. But my favorite part about what Geno's also going to be able to bring to the table is Geno Smith wins football games. He has won more games than Joe Burrow over the last 3 years. He's won more games than Matthew Stafford over the last 3 years. And when he has had Pete Carroll in 2023 and in 2022, he has been able to win some football games. When he has had a average offensive line, Geno Smith over the past 3 years, and when he had a running game that averaged just 4.0 yards per carry, went 21-0. And I also think when you just consider the fact of how good this regime is from top to bottom, John Spytek has done a great job with journeyman quarterbacks. Look at Pete Carroll, what he was able to do for Geno before and after. Chip Kelly's done a phenomenal job with quarterbacks. Greg Olson, you can say what you want about him being an OC, but he is a great quarterback mind. When you add the skill set of Geno Smith and when you really, really break down the tape and you look at how good of a deep ball passer is, and for people that look at advanced analytics, Geno Smith is a top 13 quarterback almost at every time you look at advanced analytics about how great of a QB he is when you just give him average time to pass. The Seattle Seahawks had one of the worst offensive lines in the National Football League last season, and the Raiders already have a better O-line. I know that we still need to add another talented player as a receiver, but Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, this offensive line, I think sky is the limit for Geno Smith. I don't know if he's going to put up over 30 touchdowns, But I'm telling you this right now, we're already in a spot where we can win 8, 9, potentially 10 games with Geno. We got to be able to stay healthy. We still have the draft to be able to crush this. But this is a really good sign that the Raiders are continuously doing things the way that smart organizations run it. And they're making sure that we finally have a quarterback that actually gives us a chance to win some freaking football games. So coming up here, I wanted to be able to compare this Geno Smith deal to some other quarterback deals in the National Football League. And, oh man, I am unbelievably excited for how good of a deal this is. Like, it literally feels to me like a huge weight off my shoulders. I was worried it was going to be higher. Now seeing how this deal is structured, I mean, this is an A-plus trade for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I could not be happier. Speaking of being happier, I like being able to put some money in my pocket, and if you're like me, you got to get started with the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there, Prize Picks. Springtime is here. Baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your Prize Picks lineups. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first-inning runs, take your pick, more or less, for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash today. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite baseball players with players from basketball, hockey, esports, and more. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. One of the more or lesses on Prize Picks for Geno Smith is 22.5 passing touchdowns. Give me the flipping more on that, and it's really not even all that difficult. Hell, Prize Picks also has one. It's like 3,475 passing yards for Geno Smith for the season. Give me the more on that one. It's not difficult, I promise you. Geno's going to throw for more than those passing yards. And I promise you, Geno Smith's going to throw for more than 22.5 passing touchdowns in a Chip Kelly offense, especially when you have the amount of talented coaches and personnel that this organization has from the very top to the very bottom. So again, if you want to get started with Prize Picks, download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. So when you first saw the breaking news come in that Geno got a 2-year, $75 million extension worth up to $85.5 million, I don't know if y'all do this, but the first thing I think of is, how does this compare to other quarterbacks around the National Football League? And when you see the highest paid QBs per year, I mean, when you're looking at the top 10 right now, for most of these guys making over $51 million per year, Geno Smith is somewhere around, I believe it's like 37.25 million, as I think is technically what it comes out to, when you also add the 1 year that he already has, so the 3 years in that. Like, for us to be able to get a quarterback of Geno Smith's caliber at the price tag that we are getting him, again, I don't know what the exact salary cap breakdown is going to be in 2025, 2026, and in 2027. But what I do know is you're getting a quarterback that gives you a chance to win. And when you compare it to, some of the other deals around the NFL, the Sam Darnold 3-year for $100.5 million, or you're telling me we get Geno at basically $5 million more. I'm taking Geno Smith every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Russell Wilson, 1 year, $10.5. That one's worth up to $20 million. Justin Fields, they gave him $30 million guaranteed. I'm sorry. When you see the Justin Fields deal and then you look at how it's essentially the Geno Smith deal, it's not close to me. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to get. We don't know what Brock Purdy's going to get. But I am really happy that the Raiders were honestly able to get that deal done before Brock Purdy got paid, because the Purdy deal, I do think, could potentially open up the floodgates for a very difficult conversation for a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of the agents, a lot of teams around the league. But the #1 reason why I love this deal for the Raiders is because I believe in this regime. And I believe in this regime because of what they've been able to do throughout the history of developing quarterbacks. Like, the way that we thought of Geno Smith before and after Pete Carroll is huge. But Carroll has also been able to develop a quarterback like Russell Wilson, has also been able to develop a quarterback like Geno Smith. You look at what John Spytek did for Baker Mayfield, really helped him get his season his career, get it going. Look at what John Spytek was able to do with Tom Brady, bringing him down to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady's got a pretty good quarterback mind last time that I checked. That's going to help out a lot. Chip Kelly's been able to work with all these different quarterbacks. That's helped out a lot. And the fact that Geno Smith over last season was the third best QB on target throws of 10 and 20 yards down the field, was the number one quarterback in the NFL for explosive play rate down the field. You combine the skill set of Geno and how accurate he is and his ability to throw the ball down the field. You combine that with Chip Kelly and how this offense is going to really try to spread you out. I don't think people understand how good of a quarterback Geno Smith is. And then when you add all of those pieces with even somebody like a great quarterback coach like Greg Olson, and you can roll your eyes with Greg Olson all you want, but when you get guys like Sean McVay wanting to work for you, all these really great offensive minds, they want Greg Olson to be that quarterback coach. You know why? They respect him in that regard. You can say what you want about Geno. Geno is a fringe 15. I have him ranked as my 14th best quarterback in the NFL. But when the 14th best quarterback in the NFL is getting paid way better than like 17th highest guaranteed money, and then you have all those coaches that go on top of it, we legitimately going to have a top 10 quarterback making QB 18, 19 money by the end of the year. It's a great job by the Raiders. So now let's talk about this. Will the Raiders end up drafting a quarterback this season? With the NFL draft just a few weeks away, we're going to be live on this channel. I know last season we had close to 300,000 people join us for the NFL draft. We were live for close to 21 hours, and I hope that you guys tune in for all 3 days. You will get the picks before you see them on TV. We will have them here on the Raiders Report. But I think the question is, will the Raiders end up drafting a quarterback this season? And my answer is, yeah. I do still think that the Raiders end up doing it, and I say that because earlier today, there was a report that came out that the Raiders were interested in Joe Milton, and I first saw it from Tafer, which you got to take everything Tafer says with a grain of salt, but it was reported by Jordan Schultz that the Raiders were one of those teams that was interested in Joe Milton. So if you're interested in Joe Milton, that means you're interested in developing a quarterback. You're developing a quarterback to be able to put underneath Geno for 2 to 3 years, let him learn, and then if he's good enough to hand the keys to the car in 2027, sure, let's roll it out there. But I would say right now, the quarterbacks that the Raiders are really going to target are day 3 guys. They believe that this team can win right now. And if you believe that this team can win right now, you're going to use pick number 6 on a player that can help you win. Pick number 37, pick number 68 on guys that can help you win right now. Because when you look at some of those later rounds and talent, it does quickly dwindle. But quarterbacks like a Quinn Ewers, like a Jalen Milroe, like a Kyle McCord, like a Will Howard, I would say right now those are the top 4 quarterbacks that I would say are the most likely to get drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I'll tell you this. We got 2,000 people here in the building right now. And I don't know about you. I'm ready to turn the F up here a little bit. I want to get a little bit wet and wild. It's Thursday. I'm going to be real. I'm off tomorrow. Chugs and I don't have to work on Friday. We got a 3-day weekend, and I'm ready to get after it. If you're not live and you're not watching this video with us, make sure you pull up to the Raiders Report on YouTube because shit's about to go down.